Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Yeah.
It's almost more painful to still be in the montage.
We gotta take him out. When someone gets eliminated, they gotta go.
It's almost like an in memoriam now at the top of the show every single morning. Hey, everybody, this is Run It Back on FanDuel TV. Charania, Michelle Beadle, Chandler Parsons, Lou Williams. We're going to get to this Mavs-Clippers game, but two of us were at the game last night.
Ooh.
How was the vibe?
It was great. I think the start was great. Fans were nice.
The start was great.
The Clippers game, I didn't know this, Lou. They had like a little concert in like the first quarter.
Yeah, a lot of teams do that.
And then they duck in the lights and they were singing Sweet Caroline. I haven't seen those two things.
Caroline classic. I got good news and bad news for you. What do you want first?
Oh, no.
I'll take the good first.
Good news, that was the last ever game the Clippers have to play at that crypto arena. Bad news was you had to see that ass woman in person.
You didn't stay for the whole thing.
No, you couldn't possibly have.
I sat in the lounge and enjoyed the game from the back.
That's smart.
After a while, yeah, the vibe was a little low.
Yeah,
Wasn't one of their best nights.
It was so bad, I didn't even finish it. I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and let my eyes rest for
It took a while to get ugly, but
and then it got ugly. And yes, we are talking Mavs at Clippers, Game 5. Dallas has the lead now after a 123 to 93. I didn't even know you could lose by that much in an important playoff game. But anyways, Doncic was 35, 7, and 10. Maxi Kleber with 15 points off the bench. And James Harden, this is that window for James Harden, Game 5, 6, 7, where people expect him to fail. He had 7 points, 2 of 12. So we start there. I don't understand how to explain this, Lou, why this happens to him, but he goes from one of the best playoff performances ever in Game 4 to whatever that was last night. How?
Hard to explain. You know, you would like to see some consistency going from game to game. Obviously, this was a pivotal game for both teams, and a Game 5 big-time decision in, moving forward in this series and who's going to be the better team. And, I just think they didn't show up, didn't have their best night from top to bottom, not just James. I think, none of those guys really came into play, and Dallas was really motivated on moving forward and having a big lead, going home to their home crowd, and they showed up.
It's tough because when you're a player like James Harden, too, you're going to get judged off your play in the postseason. You're going to get judged off games like this. So when you have a game where you're going 2 for 12 and you're turning the ball over and you're inefficient, and there's this run in the third quarter where they missed 9 straight shots and had 4 straight turnovers. Like those are so many empty possessions that just kill you. And then on the flip side, they're not playing defense. They're allowing Luka and Kyrie to do whatever they want. PJ Washington's over there playing off the catch, blowing by guys on the perimeter, throwing lobs to Lively. Like, it's just when their offense is bad, and it wasn't just James Harden, by the way. Paul George was bad. Westbrook, their whole game plan. You could hear on TV them screaming, "He was, let him shoot." Like there's a collective.
That's their game plan.
Yeah, it's their total game plan is let Russell Westbrook shoot the ball and do whatever he wants on the offensive end. But this doesn't fall on James Harden, but it is this when he's at this stage of his career and all he needs to do is win, and he's had his struggles in the playoffs, he's going to get judged off performances like this.
Specifically in this window of games, that you saw that stat up there with Game 5s. It's something just happens, and I don't know if it's a mental break or what, Shams, but it's it's the largest playoff defeat in Clippers history, which, whatever. What'd you think being in the building?
Their margin of error without Kawhi Leonard is like this razor thin. Like when those two guys, when PG and James Harden, when they show up to the level they did in Game 4, this team has a chance to win and win big. But the problem is last night, 6 of 25 for those two guys, 26 points between Paul George and James Harden. James Harden, a game worse, minus 25 as well. When you think about plus minuses, I know Chandler mentioned Kyrie being plus 35. And after the game, Ty Lue said he's just human, right? Like, this happens.
Sure.
But this has happened to James Harden before. And like Chandler said, the game plan for the Mavericks is let Russell Westbrook shoot the ball as much as he can. He struggled from the field as well. So I think the Mavericks just came out, punched them in the mouth. And you saw Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, the way that they defended on James Harden and Paul George. They took the onus on both those guys. It reminded me of Game 2. Like, they came out aggressively. Kyrie was in James Harden's jersey pretty much and gave him problems. And if this translates to Game 6, Mavericks are in a good place.
I will say the Mavs, their offense is insane, right? When they have those two guys and they're clicking and they're getting 4 threes from Maxi Kleber in the fourth quarter or the first half, like things like that. That's where they really get the boost. But when they're active and they're playing defense like they did last night, and the half court, they had 8 turnovers, so they're not letting teams get out in transition, do what they do best. This is where they're really, really dangerous. But when on that third quarter, when they're on that run, it was like a 17-2 run. There was 9 straight missed shots, no free throws, and 4 turnovers. Like, how does Paul George allow that to happen? How does James Harden not get to the free throw line? Like, as those players with Kawhi Leonard out, they have to step up in times like that. And we're talking about, they won games without Kawhi Leonard. They're better offense without him. No, they're not. The Kawhi Leonard's their best team, and I guarantee you he's playing games.
Well, before last night, it felt like that, didn't it?
It's
They were managed to get 2 wins.
Yeah.
That's all we can go off of. But after last night, I feel like you need.
That's what I love about basketball. The narratives are going to change from game to game.
Hour to hour.
Like if they come out tomorrow and blow the Mavericks out, we're going to figure out a way
100%.
to say that the Mavericks weren't prepared. You know, these type of things happen. Unfortunately, it doesn't need to happen in a game 5. That's such a important game. But shit happens, and the Clippers were on the wrong side of it last night.
Another thing I noticed as well, like James Harden early in the game, Lou was there. Like he missed a few of those floaters that he made in that game 4 in Dallas. And I talked to the Mavs staffer after the game, like maybe it was his confidence, maybe he misses a few, and he didn't stay aggressive either. It's not like he kept shooting. It's not he got up 12 shots. You know, when you struggle from the field, like, do you empty the clip? Shoot 20, 22.
But that's what's weird to me is Houston James Harden doesn't rattle his confidence like that especially with Kawhi Leonard out. Like you missed some floaters. Those are bunnies. You're not going to miss the next one. So it did seem like he did get a little passive, which was weird to me because he is one of the most elite scorers of all time, and your best player, Kawhi Leonard, is out. That's when you have the ultimate green light.
Those two guys shot 13 and 12 times.
Yeah, I would rather them shoot 20 and 25 times.
But I think that's a little misleading because halftime it was an 8-point game at half. I think it was 8-10 at half. They were playing well, and then it got out of control, and they didn't play the majority of the fourth quarter after being blown out. So I think the shot attempts are a little misleading. I think it was a closer game. We're looking at Paul George and James Harden having 20 attempt games. They didn't play a lot of that.
Yeah, by
second
6-7 minutes in the fourth quarter, they were pulled. So if it was a close game, you got to imagine they're taking close.
That was the earliest
20.
I've seen a coach wave the white flag. They were down 27. He pulled up.
And
listen, because in their mind it's still a 3-game series, right? So they got us on game 1. Let's go ahead and get you guys out of here, get rested, and we'll get ready for the next game.
And you touched on the plus minus. I hate plus minus because if I check in and someone hits 3 threes in a row and then I come out, I'm -9. I was in there for 2 minutes.
Yes, you are.
But when you look at a whole overall game and James Harden's -25 and Kawhi and Kyrie Irving's plus 35, that's a drastic difference. That means one's impacting winning and one's not.
Do you think a guy like James Harden, because everyone is we all sort of have our opinions on what happens in the postseason with him, especially as the games go into the series. Do you think that plays into him as well? Like you're saying his confidence maybe got a little rattled. He's very aware of where he's had shortcomings in his career. I mean, if you get to a game 5 and all of a sudden you're struggling, does it start to sort of...
James, I don't think his confidence is rattled at all. I think he just thinks he had a bad game. I think he's going to come out next game in Dallas, guns blazing. Like, that's what
really?
He's got. Yes, and he has to. And
I
again,
might take that bet.
He knows, he's an elite scorer. He knows that he's maybe a step slow now, but his confidence is not rattled. Like I said, he's one of the best scorers of all time. He's going to bounce back from this. At least he's going to be aggressive. Maybe will shots go in? We'll see. But there's no way this man's confidence is rattled.
Ever. Russell, what do you do with Russell Westbrook? What did he have? 6 points. He's averaging 6 points in the series in shooting. What can you do?
I mean, what will you do? At the end of the day, when Russell Westbrook comes off the bench, he's a role player, right? His name is Russell Westbrook. He's a former MVP. But if you're going to play 16 minutes a game, 6 points is about the average for anybody that's playing that amount of minutes. Now, Russell was extremely aggressive last night, trying to get himself going. So when we talk about confidence wavering, when you play 16 minutes and get 12 attempts out of that, even though those were shots that he normally make, usually he's shooting the midi off the glass. That wasn't going for him. He was attacking the rim, wasn't getting fouls called. That wasn't going for him. Looked like a classic night from Russell Westbrook, just inefficient to me.
Yeah, and I could argue his confidence is a little rattled because when you have a defense playing you like that, there's something a little disrespectful.
But it's been years. It's been years for him.
But then when the shots don't fall, then all of a sudden, okay, now maybe I'm not. Maybe now I'm going into a dribble handoff instead of shooting that shot because I've missed 4 or 5 in a row. But they can't bench him. He's too valuable to bench. He plays great defense.
Good
his
energy.
He causes turnovers. He needs them on Luka, which is with his activeness and his
great.
athleticism. Offensively, he's struggling, but he's got to get back to what he does great. He's got to get downhill. He's got to force turnovers and get out in transition where he is elite still.
Well, let's talk a little Luka because he's got the knee thing going. He had an illness going yesterday as well, and then he puts out that kind of a game. Where do you put that? He's got a lot of great games in his career. Where's this one rank?
Yeah, it's a good game for him. In the first half, what I liked is the first half, he was a little passive. He saw what was happening. He let Kyrie kind of take the attention. He found Maxi Kleber on some wide open threes to get him going. And then the second half, he just absolutely took over. He dissected the defense. He got everyone else involved. He was more aggressive on the offensive end. And he's just too big. Like, he gets in the paint. He'll body Zubac just for an and one, and he plays at his pace. This was just the most mature half I think I've ever seen him play. And it starts with him on the defensive end. I swear, he's so good offensively, but when he's active and he's fueling himself and he's playing defense, that sparks this team like nothing else.
The Kyrie it's like Kyrie highlight time when this series picks up each night. But here he is, another play last night,
This was nasty in person.
What's crazy is this wasn't even like a top 25 like move of his.
Just looks like no one else is there.
Look at that. That's tough.
Like, I would tear an Achilles just trying that.
Oh, everything would hurt. Yeah, right there. That feels like something bad would happen.
You know you got it on a string when Norman Powell doesn't even try and reach for the ball there either. He just kind of let him do it. Go behind the back, crossover.
It was nasty.
You like that one?
It was right in front of me.
Shop's like that one.
It was right near Lou. I don't know if Lou was still there, but
Yeah.
that was nasty.
He was in the lounge.
That was nasty.
Yeah.
Is it in the lounge?
Wherever you see that.
Well, there you go.
LeBron and Dallas.
The Lakers
we
could have
got
had him.
him.
The Lakers could have had him
Two in a
potentially
row,
twice.
guys.
Are they going to draft
Celtics.
Bronny?
Looks like Bronny's going to Dallas now. Yesterday, Boston.
Didn't
It's
see that
happening.
coming.
Who did this? This was sports gods don't like it when you get ahead of yourselves, and somebody did. Dallas to Cancun. Why would you do that outside crypto?
You know what's funny? This doesn't even make sense. It's not like it's like an elimination game. Like, regardless
not.
if they lost this game, they still can go to Dallas and come back here. So this wasn't even.
Sky Connor.
This wasn't even funny. Like, this wasn't like this. Now
it's just weird.
Now, if I'm Dallas on a real elimination game, I'm putting that right back up. Clippers to Cancun and Dallas, because this shit
I would wait.
is over.
I would wait until it's over and then you just
That's-
plaster
It's
it
over,
over
Shams.
LA.
You
It's
do need to
over.
do that.
It
Also,
is
it's like
absolutely over.
it's a good moment for Southwest.
I will bet a lot of money on the Dallas Mavericks
So
money line.
Fly Scanner, whoever that person is that made that
Yeah.
billboard, apparently they sell cheap flights. So I think they were just trying to get in on the action.
I mean, good for them.
Not a real,
And
not
we're
a real
talking
fan.
about it.
Can I ask something that is
Brilliant business.
Like, I want to ask this. It's not part of the script or anything, but why do we keep saying Cancun? I know it started as Cancun, but no one goes to Cancun.
Nobody goes to Cancun.
So why haven't we
happened.
changed it to
Nick Van
Cabo?
Exel started this.
Yeah,
right?
So
Something
can we not
happened
change?
years
Can we
ago.
not evolve it,
Probably just
Cabo?
an easy place for everybody to know that's a destination spot.
But I feel like every time we say it-
it's more Cabo than Cancun.
It's
Yeah,
definitely
1, 2,
Cabo.
3 Cabo.
It's even Tulum before Cancun. It's like let's get through this.
Cancun's out.
They'll be
Cancun's
there in no
out.
time.
Let's make it. We're gonna start it here.
Spring break 2003.
Yeah,
Cancun is-
what? Senor Franz.
Girls
What are we
Gone
talking
Wild.
about? Okay, I'm
Wait,
sorry.
what?
I've never even been to Cancun. Shams, Kawhi. Is this the daily morning? Were we going to get Kawhi back or?
Yeah, I was talking to some people pregame around the Clippers, and it's crushing Kawhi Leonard not to be playing. Obviously, he's dealing with that inflammation in his knee. He's already missed multiple games in this series, and it's the same knee he had a torn ACL on and a torn meniscus over the last 3 years. So it's this inflammation is just bothering him. My sense is the Clippers are fully preparing that they're not going to be with him or have him back in the lineup for a Game 6. They know they have to really essentially continue to win without him. We'll see if he can progress in any of these days, but they're mentally ready to play as is.
That's it doesn't bode well for you, Lou. I mean, I know you guys have your own personal thing, a little bet going on here, but doesn't sound like Kawhi's coming back. And then last night's performance, how worried are you about Game 6?
It's a bad night. It's no way to, they pissed the bed. You know, it's no other way to put it. It was a really bad night. The encouraging part is they got another game tomorrow, got an opportunity to tie it back up and then play the last game on your home court. They take care of business on the road. We'll have a completely different conversation come Saturday.
And here's the thing, they've proved they can win without him. So again,
Yeah.
we talked about this before, like they have enough to win. And then once they win Game 6, all the pressure goes back to Dallas for Game 7. You do not, if you're Dallas, you have to end this series right now. You do not want to go back to LA for Game 7.
These things change from day to day. It changes.
1000%.
Let's say the Clippers go into Dallas, get a big win. Now you're the Dallas Mavericks going back to LA, getting on a plane like, damn, can we play this well again in that arena?
And then they have to play that poorly.
Remember
as well.
last year with Miami and Boston, they were up, Miami was up 3-2 going back to Miami, then they blew it.
If
in Miami.
Dallas loses Game 6, they need to double down on that ad and put it back up there.
They do.
Then it would make sense.
That couldn't have been a cheap ad to put up, anyways.
Oh.
That had to be like.
Trying to get in on the action.
Cheap flights, not cheap ads.
Yeah, what? Very well done. Another game.
That's maybe the catchphrase.
It's like
Well said,
I actually
John.
like that. Look, you have a career. The games yesterday were so if you had some binging to catch up on, it was probably the night to do it. Heat at Celtics also a bore. They finished that thing up 118-84. They advanced to the conference semis. Derek White with 25. Jaylen Brown had 25. Jason Tatum with 16, 12 rebounds. I don't know. It's a 5-game series win over a team without their best player. That's forever going to be part of the story, right, Lou? But did anything Boston do change your opinion for better or worse as
No,
we
they
go
just
on?
solidified it.
Okay.
Just solidified it. I think this is going to be a walk to the finals for them coming out of the East. Obviously the West is going to be loaded. Do we jump the gun and say they're the favorites to be champions? No, because there's a lot of good basketball being played on the other side of the country. But on the East side, it's the Boston Celtics all day long.
Yeah, we've wavered on certain topics and certain teams. The Boston Celtics aren't one of them. We've been all over them from the jump, and I think them losing that early in Game 2 kind of helped them. It humbled them. It let them know that we're not invincible. We can be beaten. And ever since then, they've been absolutely dominant. They've destroyed the Miami Heat, both games in Miami, and now just this game last night was disgusting.
Unwatchable.
So I think when you lose early like that, I think it's like a college team losing in the conference tournament. Like, it does wonders for your stretch into your run during the March Madness tournament. Same thing with this. They lost early. They lost to a scrappy Heat team that everyone talks about how good they are in the postseason. From that moment forward, it's almost like they came together, and now they're playing at a higher level than they even did during the regular season.
Yeah, it does seem like the road might not be as difficult as other Shams. Look, it's a Celtics series win over a very hobbled Miami Heat team. What did you take away from it?
They just took care of business. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
what Lou and Chandler said. I mean, for Miami, this is the first time since 2021 where they did not make it to the conference finals. You have to give a lot of respect to the run that they had from 2020 to 2023. They made it to the finals twice, made it to a conference finals. But the Celtics just took care of business. And when you look at their matchup next, Orlando or Cleveland, and then they'll face one of Indy, New York, or Milwaukee. If Milwaukee can get by this series, maybe Milwaukee is the team. Still,
If those two come back?
If those two guys can get healthy, if they can get by in this series, which they've shown they can win without them, potentially. Let's not count Milwaukee out, but we'll see what happens tonight.
But also, let's not sugarcoat this with injuries. Every team has gone through a certain amount of injuries. So with or without, are we going to commercial?
I mean, we can, but no, we'll stay.
Every team has dealt with this. So the Miami Heat, again, would it have been a different series?
No
possibly?
Terry Rozier, no Jimmy Butler.
For sure, it would have been a different series without them.
But
we're all still taking the Celtics with those guys.
But that's like saying Boston Celtics didn't have Jason Tatum.
Again, but
like,
why do we
that's-
do it? They do, and they don't. So they handle business.
Lou's not buying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, nothing has happened in this series that makes me think Boston's unbeatable. That's my only sentiment.
I'm more confident.
Yes,
I'm more confident.
this series doesn't make
You don't
me
think
think
this
anything.
is a dominant series?
Yeah, I'm more
Yeah, but
confident.
it had. Why wouldn't it be?
I mean, they're playing just as good as a OKC. They're playing just as good as a Denver.
I do know Jimmy Butler changes the whole equation.
That's a
though.
whole
Don't
nother
you guys
ball
think?
game.
Yes, of course they're a
Not to
better
me.
team. They're a better team. But I'm actually more confident in the Celtics after how they maturely handled business in this series. A lot of teams can have let up. A lot of teams be like, oh, this is going to be easy and lose more than just one game. This team really stepped on the gas. I'm telling you, that loss early is going to do wonders for them.
Only thing I'm saying is the Miami Heat, the one game they did win, it was a record-setting night for them.
Was it 23
really was.
It was a
threes?
record-setting night for them. The
And
one game that they did win, obviously Jimmy Butler, you throw him in the mix, you quite possibly have a different series. You throw Jaquez out there, you have a different series, but they weren't. It is what it is.
Yeah.
The one game that they won, it was a record-setting night. Other than that, they were
Yeah, we're not
dominating.
going to discredit the Pacers because Dame and Giannis are hurt. We're not going to discredit the Mavs because Kawhi's hurt.
It's not discrediting, but it's just sort of being realistic about, all right, what is their full potential really? Because we don't know.
This is
But
what's
if your
happening.
star
We're talking
player's
about
out-
what if they're healthy. This
No,
is
but-
what I know is happening. Who cares what if
But
happening?
if your star player's out and I kick your ass 4 games,
Right.
Yeah.
that's the what if.
I know, I get it. And like,
Yeah, maybe they'll be closer games, but other
And
than that,
you know
we're
what?
30 points better than you every night.
This is great for the Miami Heat too to just know there's not a little switch back there that you can click on in the postseason
tell you
with
about
like the Suns trying to figure it out.
I
The
told you it
Heat,
didn't- it don't
there's
work.
no
How you
switch is
think it
broken. The
works?
batteries are dead, so you can't just do this and coast through the regular season and then all of a sudden.
but it's
oh,
fun.
Where it impacts you is seeding, though. Like, that's the biggest thing.
100%.
Is the last few years they've kind of gotten away with, listen, you kind of take your time in the regular season, coast a little bit. We know Jimmy Butler turns it on. He's kind of said it publicly. This isn't shattering news here, but if you do take the regular season a little bit more seriously, and that was the issue with the Lakers, is they felt internally if we had potentially had better rotation, things like that, we have a higher seed. We're not playing Denver.
That's
and
true.
So in Miami's case, if you do, go all in on the regular season, maybe you're a higher seed. Maybe you're not playing Boston in round one.
Yeah.
That's the big message. We got to take a quick break right here. When we come back, we got a guest. Rockets forward Jeff Green.
Uncle
joins
Jeff.
The show. Yay! We'll be back.
Run it up, run it back, yeah. Run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back.
You're looking at the winner.
Jeff Green! My goodness!
When I wake up and look in the mirror, I'm looking at a winner and looking at the champ.
Woo, 16 seasons, 11 teams, and of course a ring there with the Denver Nuggets. Jeff Green joins the show right now. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning.
We like petty talk, and I don't even think you're going to have a petty answer to this one, because usually, if you're playing with a team and the team goes on their second round of the playoffs, the Nuggets will probably win again all season long. Do you keep up? Do you root for former teams when they're doing well?
Well, I'm rooting for Denver, yes. Well, I root for guys. Like DeAndre Jordan's one of my best friends, so I'm rooting for him to win again. I have kept in contact with those guys, so they do have my support, but I'm just looking for a good playoffs.
Yes.
Has Dre got you on the vegan tip yet?
Not a chance.
No. When I played with
Not a
him,
chance.
I was with him the beginning of his journey of trying to be vegan and all that. He was trying to force Impossible Burgers on us and all of that.
Vegan or vegetarian?
He's
straight
vegan.
vegan.
He's everything.
Vegan.
That's a lot tougher.
I can't do
Yeah,
it.
straight.
Too much for food.
No,
I let him
I
get
need
a couple
butter.
meals in there last year, but I can't do it.
That's a lot, by the way. What was your best memory, by the way, of the title run?
I would be cliche to just say when we won, but I think it was how we pulled together. I think throughout the year we had the ups and downs, but staying number one, watching Joker have the phenomenal season that he had, Jamal on his comeback from his injury, Michael Porter, coming into his own, the way KCP played, Aaron. I think it was just as a whole, watching all the guys come together for that one goal and not have any egos on the way. So I think just in all total, just the whole season that we had and how we battled through everything just to get there and win it, I think it was just satisfying.
Jeff, Nikola Jokic obviously comes across as a family-oriented, quiet guy who just so happens to be good at playing basketball. For you, what was it like playing with him?
Well, he made the game easy for me. At 37, trying to go ISO, that wasn't for me. I've never been in my career. So for me, being able to just slice and cut, he's going to find you. He made the game easy for everybody on that team, and he's doing it now. I didn't have to work a lot to get 2 points. He just tell me what it be, and he'll make the pass. So just being out there, seeing his IQ, because, from the outside looking in, you never see it. And just seeing how he controls the game with his slow pace, how he reads the floor, he made the game easy for everybody.
Give us a Jokic story that no one knows.
Wow.
I know you got one, Jeff.
That nobody knows. I don't think he'll want people to know.
There's a reason nobody knows.
Yeah, the guy, with how he is how he is. The name is fitting, Joker. But people see the love that he has for his horses, and that's real. That's really real. I remember on the East Coast trip in Philadelphia, and we played, I want to say in Cleveland, and flew to Boston, and he's up at 5 a.m. driving 2 hours just to go see horses, or he's watching horses on a plane. And what he said after that press conference after we won, that was real. He was ready to go home and be with his horses. And we had to beg him to, go out, go to Vegas, stay an extra day just to celebrate. But you got to love a guy who's passionate about, things outside of basketball, because it gives him a break mentally and physically, from, the life that we live. So, you appreciate it, but you're also like, damn, I can't believe he really is this passionate about horses.
That's awesome.
Jeff, KD, KG, James Harden, LeBron, Jokic, Shaq, D Rose, and Russ.
Whoa.
Those are 8 NBA MVPs you've played with at some point in your career. Is LeBron, which is crazy, by the way. I was trying to think.
That's
I played
insane.
with James and Dirk. Those are
Yeah.
my league too. But is LeBron easily the best player you've played with, or is Jokic on his ass? How do you even? That's insane, bro.
Man, I never really thought about it, actually. Yeah. He is probably up there. I mean, playing with Joker, you have a different, respect for, his IQ, his game, the way he plays. And obviously he's still young. He still has a long way to go. But, I mean, to watch what LeBron has done, 21 years, being able to play with him, seeing how he, manages his life, his body, this, going out there every day playing at the level that he does. I mean, it's unheard of. And to be a part of that, it was special. So he's definitely, one of the best I've played with. But I can't take nothing away from those other guys. They've done special things in this game. So, I've been blessed to play with all these guys.
Is there anything difficult when you play with a guy like LeBron? Like, I know obviously,
Yes.
like, what's the hardest part about playing with LeBron?
Man, I would say just the media, and how, the pressure that they put on, anybody who plays with him, the pressure that they put on those guys to go out there and perform, because he is an all-time great. He is a legend in this game. And the others have to do well in order for, him to, get where he want to get. And obviously he's going to do what he does, but the others have to play well every game. There is a lot of pressure on other guys to go out there and play well. And I think that can, run a toll on a lot of guys, because a lot of guys are not used to that pressure. But it is fun. For me, I enjoyed it, every bit of it. I soaked it all in. I enjoyed every step that it was to, play alongside with him and get to the finals. He showed me things that I've never seen in my career, which helped me, prolong it, a couple more years. So it is a lot of pressure playing alongside him, but it is fun if you enjoy it.
Yeah, that's like when I play with James in Houston, they're like, is it exhausting watching him? I'm like, hell no, you know how many open shots I get playing with this dude?
That's the point. Like I wouldn't even have to move. People said double teams at him, and I just, shoot an open shot. And I'm like, why would I, cry about, getting open shots?
Yeah.
I just got to make it. That's it.
Grass ain't greener.
Right. Listen, another former MVP that you play with, you were drafted alongside KD to the Seattle Supersonics.
Wow.
What was that like playing with him so early on? Did you know that he was going to be a generational talent that he is, and growing up in high school? What's now that his legacy is kind of formed, what's misunderstood about KD?
Man, KD was a generational talent in high school. Like you said, man, he's 7 foot. He's not 6'9", what he wants to be on paper. He's a 7-footer with handles who can shoot, 3-level scorer. I mean, that guy is special, man. He's a brother to me. And just watching him over the years, I mean, he's somebody who's, proven a lot of people wrong coming out. He's not strong enough. He can't do this. He's not going to be able to make it that long based on, his size. But it's like, it's basketball. He loves his craft. He is basketball over everything. And that's what I appreciate about Kevin. He's not going to let anything affect his craft. And, he is where he belongs. He worked hard to get to this point, being a top 10 NBA scorer all time. And, he still has a couple more years to go. I mean, I don't think we've seen enough of what Kevin can do. I think he's going to get better, which is weird to say at year 17. So, that's my brother, man. I love him to death, and I'm glad that he's having the career that he's having.
Do you, when you hear, so many people want to stick to the whole, well, he chased a ring, or he went to this team or this team. When you hear that, what do you think? Does he get too hard a time for that?
Yeah, I mean, he just wanted to play great basketball. Not saying he didn't get it in OKC. I think, guys want different challenges throughout their career, and that was his path, and he chose that challenge. Granted that he was going to get a lot of criticism for it, he accepted it, and he kept moving, and, he did what he was supposed to do going to that team. I don't knock him for it. That's his path of his career. I'm not going to tell another man what he should do in his career. So, I was happy for him. That's what he wanted. That's what he got. And, we move on from it.
Jeff, what was it like playing another great you played with, Russell Westbrook?
Yeah, that's my brother, man. I think he's also somebody who's misunderstood. One of the nicest people that I've ever, from day one, my second year, his first year, he's been the same. I think he's misunderstood by how he goes about the game. But, a real basketball player, somebody who knows the game, they love the way he approaches the game. His attack mode every single game, his mentality has been like that since day one. And that's something you can appreciate. Russ he's a different cat, but, you got to love him. And that's one thing I do respect about him.
My question is, do the Thunder win a championship? And how many championships do they win if they have KD, Russ, and James, and they keep that band together?
I think they definitely win one. As you see, like Denver, you had some guys that they drafted that they stuck with, and over time, they beat that hurdle that was in their way, and they got it done. It's about time, man. I mean, you run into our third or fourth year against the LA team that was primed to win with Cole. You got a San Antonio team, you got Phoenix team, you got Memphis, who was that grind city. They was, doing good things back then. So I think they was destined to win one, but, it's the NBA. People make decisions and they move on from things that, people can't control. And I think in time they would have won one if they would have kept everybody together. Because they had a great team with good people, good basketball players.
Jeff, when you're moved from the Thunder to Celtics, is that something you're looking forward to, or are you actually upset that you're kind of moving away from this situation that could be really, really awesome?
I was upset. Of course I was upset. That was, my first time getting traded. I was with somebody who, is from the same area as me. Our families knew each other before we even got to the NBA. So it was tough leaving. We were all young. I was 23. I was 23 at the time. KD was probably 21, just turned 21. You had James, who was 20, Russ, who was 20, 21. So, we were young guys all trying to, put our time together to win. And when I left, I was definitely upset, But, I got to learn a lot when I got to Boston, playing alongside Paul, Doe, KG, and under Doc. So it was something that I needed in my career, but it was also something I didn't want to happen.
It was your first trade. It's such an interesting perspective. And then you do end up in Boston with a pretty legit squad. Is KG, what's the word, as crazy to be around as a teammate as it seems?
Yes, he is. But he's also one of my favorite teammates I ever played this game with. His passion is something that rubs off on you. Obviously, nobody can duplicate that guy and what he brings to the game. But his passion, it really rubs off on you. And it was something I wasn't used to, something I had to get used to over time. But, man, that guy, it was great to play alongside with him. I learned so much playing with KG. It was special because you watch it from afar and you see the intensity. And you're like, there's no way he can be like that 24/7. But that guy is like that when it's game day, it's practice day, that intensity is through the roof. But off the court, he's one of the greatest human beings I've ever been in contact with. But people see only basketball, and yes, he is the same way. Every day that ball is dribbling on the court, and you got to love it.
Jeff, this season, you guys had a 19-win improvement from last year. Obviously, you were part of that. Major part of that. How good do you think this team can be, and how was this season overall for you, just seeing the improvement that this franchise has had?
Oh man, this year was fun. It was a different feeling based on the years that I've had previous, based off just the personnel. But in my role, being 17 years in, being around those young guys really gave me energy, to play. So it was definitely fun being with Ime. Jalen, Alpi, young talents in this league that's going to do great things in years to come. Playing alongside Dylan, Fred, man, it was Jock, Reggie. It was a lot of good talent in that locker room, and we did some good things. Obviously, we came up short of the goal, getting to the playoffs, but the improvement that we had was special, and to watch those young guys flourish and to grow and mature, in this game, it was cool to be a part of, and I'm glad I had a helping hand in that. But Ime did a great job with us each day and preparing us, and his mentality and the way that he played the game, bringing that intensity on the court. He really got a lot out of us this year. So I'm looking forward to next year.
All right, here we go. You were one of 10 37-year-old players to play this year. Now, you've always been Uncle Jeff, but now you finally got to a place where you can earn the nickname, and it's actually solidified when you become OG and Unc, and it's real. It's
Getting
not
closer
just
to Grandpa Jeff.
Yeah, it's not something
They called me
that's
Grandpa Jeff this year. I ain't gonna lie. A couple of times I got a little pissed off, but it's all good.
What are some of the challenges playing with such a young team? And like you said, you older. You're not gonna hang around with 20 to 21-year-olds. You're 37 with a family. What are some of the challenges of playing with such a young team?
Man, listen, that every day, because Jalen is one of the most athletic kids that I've ever been around, man. And every day, him, Cam Whitmore, they going into practice, they dunking everything. And I'm like, man, I'm thinking in my head that I can still do it every day. It depends on the day. I can get up there, but
And the weather.
it's just my body, my body ain't recovering like it used to, and that's something I had to get used to because I'm not used to like sitting out, practice, games, and nothing. Like Ime had the one game tell me like, look, you taking the day off, and I fought it for a good hour. Like, why? Like, I never did that, won't do that. And then I had to really sit with myself and be like, look, you're not 22, you're not 21. Like, you really have to take care of your body. But these young guys, even this summer, like I remember last year I had to tell Ime, like, in practice, like I might have to like tail it back a little bit because obviously the run we had the year before with Denver, my body didn't have enough time to recuperate. Like I wasn't used to going that long into a season, and then the aftermath of winning really took a toll on me. And then mentally, I'm like, I got to be ready for this year because I got a lot of young guys, so I got to come in, I got to get in there, I got to show them like, this is what a professional is. But I never took time off, and I felt at the beginning of the season it was like I need to sit down somewhere. But these young guys, they really pushed me. But they really gave me energy to, want to go out there and continue to perform at a high level. And that's one thing I love about them. They love the game. Jabari, is a true professional. He go in there every day. He works hard. Jalen, Alka, they all work hard. So I had to be that vet to go in there and be a part of that. But I realized I can't do it at the same intensity like I used to. So it really taught me a lot of what I needed to do at this stage of my career in order to play a couple more years or a year. I don't know. But it really told me that I really had to sit down and really be mindful of, how to take care of my body a little bit more.
Listen.
I'm 35 and can't even drink 2 days in a row, and you're over here playing back to back.
Believe me, it take me 2 or 3 days to recover that.
Oh my gosh!
I understand exactly what you're talking about.
It's crazy. I'm hurting right now. I'm about to stand up.
Listening to, I'm about to stand up. I'm preparing. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Chandler.
Yeah, Jeff, you've had so many insane dunks even this last season. Did you have a favorite career dunk? Because you've had a lot of look at this.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, a favorite career?
That's crazy.
That one's
At
gotta
the
be up
buzzer?
there. Game winner. Look, I like the left. I like when you go left.
we like
Yeah, now I go left a lot because it's easier to jump off my right leg than my left. But I will say my favorite will have to be he's a good friend of mine, Jan Mahimi. It was this one, yes.
Right there.
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite. Like just
That's
left
nice.
hand. I'm a right-handed guy, so everybody know in the league I love to go right. So for me to go left and dunk off my right and dunk left, it just happened to be on a good friend of mine, and I was back at home, so my family got to see it. So I think that's one that sticks out the most. And another one is when I was with Memphis on Seraphin. I think that was a special one.
Now,
But-
you said you're a top 5 in-game dunker before. Who
Yes.
are the other 4 that are ahead of you, and who's the best?
I was being nice, you know. I didn't want to brag too much. I wanted to be humble about it. But obviously, you know, you got to throw Vince in there. Another guy who I really loved growing up was Stromile Swift. I thought he was a very powerful dunker.
Oh, yeah. I thought he was strong.
He had one of the
D Miles was an amazing in-game dunker. I'm gonna give his credit because we had a long argument about this last year. DeAndre Jordan.
You got to throw Blake in there too.
Yeah, Lob City.
Blake.
They go hand in hand.
The DeAndre dunk on Brandon Knight, the lob.
Yeah, they go hand in hand.
Chalk outline should still be on the court.
That's probably top 5 best dunks in NBA history.
It changed Brandon Knight's career and
It
DeAndre
changed
Jordan's
everything.
career.
Oh, dear.
It really did.
That's
Yeah.
depressing hearing it that
It
way.
really did.
It is.
Changed
And
his
B
life.
Knight is, you know, that's the homie. But I always told DJ a lot of his dunks is all oops. Like when
None off the dribble.
Self-serve.
He created none of them opportunities.
They're served on a spoon.
But I love all his dunks. But I'm definitely up there.
I love
I'm a
this.
very humble guy. I'm not one to brag, but when it in-game
I'm the
dunks,
best.
But I'm awesome.
I'm up there.
Yes, you are.
No, that's just
We'll brag
true.
for you.
That's just truth telling, Jeff. There's nothing wrong with that. Uncle Jeff,
Yeah,
we will
I
continue
mean,
that, by the way. Not
Yeah, I
Grandpa.
played the highlights. I didn't.
Yeah, we put a nice montage
We expect
together.
more next year.
It was
We got you.
beautiful. We appreciate the time, Jeff. Enjoy the off season. Hopefully, talk soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you. Y'all
We'll be
take
back.
care.
They run it back, run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back, yeah, run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back.
Bryce McGowens. McGowens.
Don't point at
And
him.
you pointed at him,
point at
Bryce? Rude. Brooke Lopez on that one. Bryce McGowens joins us now, obviously, from Charlotte. Bryce, the big news out of Charlotte this week, because we've all seen it now, is your teammate LaMelo Ball's back tattoo. Thank you. There he goes. I saw the hedge. What are we thinking?
That's fire.
It's tough. I really like it. I just, you know, there's a lot of pain there, but
I know he didn't sleep.
I like it. He got
know he
tatted
didn't
in.
sleep.
It's so vibrant and clear.
You
It's
know,
like, well
you know
done.
they do a thing now where they'll put you to sleep for something.
Yeah,
like
like
this.
an anesthesia.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Really?
Yes.
And just like a surgery.
Like
that's
Joe
too-
Hayden, he got a
that's
whole
too
sleeve.
far.
He went to sleep and he woke up and it was done.
We got to get Joe on the phone. That's a man law. Any
I did that for
arm
this one.
tattoos, you don't go to sleep.
I
on
did
an
that
arm
for this
tattoo.
one.
We gotta put that in the law. That's man law, Joe. Come
Bryce,
on, bro.
LaMelo Ball. Now I will think of the tattoo. I also think of his car collection because it's quite good. What's it like playing with him?
Man, he's exciting. You know, he's energetic, smart player, great player. You know, makes the right decisions. You know, he plays with his own swag, his own pace. So it's definitely exciting. So when you're on the court with him, you just got to be ready at all times. You don't know when the ball gonna come to you. So, but he's a great player. You know, as he continues to be on the floor and grow as a person and a player. You know, I think he'll continue to get that all-star level.
Is the pop still hanging around, or he's more at home now? I haven't heard from that cat in a while.
He shows up every once in a while.
Yeah.
Everyone, we'll leave it at
He's
that.
settled in now.
Yeah,
The kids are grown men and they vets now. He's
Making
settled
max
in.
contracts.
Yeah, the story is
He's
solidified
paid.
now.
He did
He's
it.
chilling, Yeah.
Bryce, you were drafted by the Timberwolves on draft night and then obviously get sent to the Hornets. What was it like? What has it been like playing for Michael Jordan?
Yeah, so, I've talked to Michael just a couple times, not too much, but, on draft night when, the Hornets traded up for me and, that being a hometown team, being from South Carolina and it's probably like 2 hours away from where I'm from, it was just great, having a little conversation with him, not too much. It was a blessing just being able to, meet Michael and be able to play for Charlotte right up the road.
Bryce, is MJ your GOAT?
No, I think I got LeBron. I got LeBron.
Yeah, it goes by
do
age,
too,
right?
Bryce.
You
It's a
decide
generational
that.
conversation.
We got
My
LeBron
generation, I
too,
got
and we're
LeBron.
much older than
Yeah,
you.
he's-
It's a generational conversation. You spent some time in the G League your rookie year. What? And I spent some time. It was called the D League when I was in it before they had the Gatorade. Before they had the Gatorade deal. What's the difference between G League life and NBA life? The perks are different for sure.
Yeah, I would say like just travel wise. I feel like play style is kind of the same. You know what we do when we up and when we in the G League. I feel like we all run the same things. So when I was playing in the G League, I just tried to translate everything that we was doing up when I was in the G League. So, but yeah, I definitely feel like you definitely get more touches, of course, when you're down. Just the way things are.
Did you take any bus trips?
No, so I only played. The only away games I played was a summer league showcase. I mean, the G League showcase.
Okay, good.
That was in Vegas. So
I took a
didn't really get
9-hour
experience.
bus trip.
Ooh.
No, let me tell you the kicker. I drove from Fort Worth, Texas to Little Rock, Arkansas for a D-League game on a team bus. It was a 9-hour team bus for me to get to Little Rock, Arkansas, and got recalled the same day. No way.
Oh my God.
Okay, well, I wouldn't be happy about that. We started the interview with the dunk you had on Brooke Lopez. It's the point, though, that really makes it like perfection. What were you thinking here?
That's a nice dunk.
Caught him
I
slipping.
don't know. I think it's from like high school. Like every time I dunked on somebody, I like point at them. So like I think it was just like a habit then. So.
Oops, for Brooke.
Yeah. Bryce, recently JJ Redick had just interviewed for the job for the Charlotte Hornets. What's your take on that? Do you like the idea of him as your potential coach?
Yeah, I do. He's smart. He's been around the game, a long time. I feel like he's a player's coach at the same time. So I think it would be, a great pickup. But I'm not sure where, our ownership or in front office, they're thinking towards. But I'm definitely excited for the team's future and where we're headed.
That is awesome. Bryce, it's been a pleasure. We appreciate the time this morning. Thank you so much. Enjoy your off season.
Yes, sir. Good luck, bro.
Thank you so much.
Good luck next year, man.
We'll be back.
Run it back, run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back, run it up.
Very impressive.
Here, Derek White. Derek White.
What can he do?
What can't he do? Grow hair.
He might. You went there.
Not
he
all
might
of
be
us
the
can.
best.
Can't.
That's a good one.
Is he the best role player in the NBA?
Oh, that's a good one.
Because he does it all. He
He's-
defends, he scores, he plays point guard, he
He's
guards
tough.
centers. He's insane.
What do you have? 63 points in the last 2
They're talking about him being an all-star. He
Stupid.
averaged 12
Yeah.
points.
Bam, 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 bam.
Slim pickings on the man as a family today. I mean,
Oh, that's a nice dunk though.
first
what's wrong
two
with
are
It's not nice dunking on a 40-year-old.
Okay, then that's,
Nice.
all right, then I give you this.
pretty meaty.
That's Dante DiVincenzo blocking Tyrese Maxey. That's something.
Was he trying to dunk that?
That was one of the.
I'm more impressed that he tried to dunk this than that he actually got blocked.
He's so like jumpy. I
Brooke
like
Lopez.
Tyrese Maxey. Oh,
Oh,
this
the
is
get back for
impressive.
Bryce.
Yeah, when you dunk on
Should have
Miles
tapped
Turner.
on his head like Bryce. We had to show this after Bryce's nuts on his head last segment.
You went for that.
Wait, what?
The jab
The old
step.
jab.
Give him the
Can't
jab.
let him go middle.
It took him half an hour to get to that lane. You went for that, Miles
Slow-mo.
Turner?
Where's the
That,
hell?
that was kind of a slow
gosh.
motion. Guys, we did it.
All right.
Everybody feel good?
Always feel good.
All right, enjoy the
Sensational.
weekend, enjoy the games. We'll see you bright and early on Monday.
Run it up, run it back, 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 run it up.